So, Hamish.
Let's pretend it's a podcast.
So Hamish.
yeah. So Ali, let's pretend it's a podcast, shall we? Fuck it. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by absolutely no one because
By Manscaped, because that's who sponsors everyone.
Because I like to shave my balls. Because I'm very hairy.
Yeah, you are. I've not seen your balls, but yeah, you are very hairy.
I'm a very hairy man. So Nula's out this week. Are you excited to finally release a new album? It's been quite a while in the works, hasn't it?
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, the process started. The first song actually started before lockdown, and then we rewrote Slow, was the first single from it. But at that point, we didn't know it was going to be an album. It was just like, there's nothing else to do. Let's write music.
I think for some bands, it was kind of almost like a blessing, or like some people wrote some of the best songs, or like a lot of bands broke over lockdown. Did you find it was like good for you creatively?
No, lockdown was like weirdly good for us. It was actually like bang back time that we kind of needed to sort of reset, and a few things changed with the team behind the scenes, and it was a bit of time off that we kind of needed, honestly. I'm actually glad for us it happened. I feel bad. There was a lot of bands, as you say, that didn't get through it, which is so shit. It's so tough. But for us, we were just like, let's just write music. There's nothing else to do. Let's just write music. And the first song was Slow. And then from there on out, we did another 2 singles. And then we were like, let's just do an album. Do you know what I mean? Because what else are we going to do? And that turned into Nula, essentially. So it took us a while to write, if I'm being honest with you. It wasn't quick. Because the first 8 months of lockdown was very much just like everyone didn't, you didn't really know when we were going to get out of that. So we didn't really feel the pressure to be quick about it, if you know what I mean, either.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But then as the world started to open up, we're like, yeah, let's do this.
When it first happened, everyone was like, oh, it's only going to be a few months, and then things will be back to normal. Then, oh, it's only going to be another 6 months, then a year, then 2 years. So I guess like you were saying, a lot of bands, because all their plans got put on hold, it made them sort of reevaluate what they're doing. And some bands were just like, knock it on the head.
Honestly, man, see, for us, and this is advice for anyone, see if you're in a band that's stuck in a situation like that, this sounds a bit business orientated, but just play the Spotify game. Just put out some singles, play the game, think of cool imagery, keep working it like that. And it did dividends for us over, our absolutely, we're a very small band, but lockdown, over the space of lockdown, we gained a much bigger fan base than prior to lockdown, if you know what I mean, which was awesome. You know what I mean?
I was actually looking today, just over 300,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
Yeah, it's fucking,
which is crazy.
I was literally speaking to our lab guy, our label guy today, and we're like, hopefully we can hit 500,000 by the end of the year. Do you know what I mean? It's that's the plan.
Yeah, because that's big. That's
man, if you play the game and play the singles game on Spotify, you can really build it. And the funny thing about Spotify, just to get into it for a minute, is a lot of people hate Spotify because of they pay so badly, right?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, it's really the only way that we make a consistent income is Spotify.
Really?
But you really have to build it up to, you need to be getting well over 1 million plays a month to really get to that point, especially depending on the splits as well. So if you can capitalize on Spotify, it can really pay off for sure. But there's a lot of luck involved if they pick you up, right? And playlisting and algorithmically and stuff. So
yeah.
But we just grinded, man. We just kept going. Do you know what I mean?
Or just do what that band did and release a silent album and get people to put it on while they sleep. Do you hear about that?
Genius. That's genius.
They made so much money from it. It was just, I think Spotify sort of banned it at the end because it was just you can't just upload silence.
That's really clever, actually. I like that. I like shit like that. That's cool.
Back to Nula. Am I saying it right? Nula? I think it's my accent.
Bang on.
How did the sort of concept for it come out? Because it's like a sort of sci-fi concept to it, isn't it?
Janine, man, she really pushed the sci-fi narrative, and I think she was saying over lockdown she really got into watching a lot of movies, a lot of sci-fi movies, and she loves, Alien, Event Horizon, all these, these kind of classic films. And she just came up with the character, Nula, basically, which originally wasn't going to be the title of the album. It was actually something else, but we were talking about it, and we're just like, it's 4 letters in caps, and it looks great. So we're like, let's just make that the title. And Nula is the girl in some of the promo stuff, the red-haired girl. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it, but that is who Nula is. So Janine just came up with a bit of a narrative. The album itself does have a start, a middle, and the end, which you'll hear when you hear the record. And Janine does want to write a comic as well, which is quite ambitious. I don't know if that's going to happen, but she is trying to do that. She's working with a writer. So yeah, it's like why not do a concept album? Like,
yeah,
fuck it. Do you know
I
what
was just gonna ask, is there any plans to do like a graphic novel? But because that would be wicked.
Janine wants to. She actually wanted to do it for the pre-order and release of the album, but we've just had so much to do, we couldn't get it done in time, essentially.
Because that's like a whole nother sort of thing.
Yeah,
it's like a whole nother like publication, all the
that's like another basically making another album, right? The amount of work it takes to make a comic, you know what I mean? So it's a lot of work. So Janine just really pushed it, and then we kind of worked together on like the visuals with an artist that we found. Honestly, we found an artist on Fiverr, an Italian guy, and we fucking loved him. We just loved his work, and his communication was great, and he was dead passionate. And he's done all of our artwork. I do like all the digital online stuff. But he's done like the actual art. Do you know what I mean? So finding him really helped paint the picture of what it all looks like.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Dude, Fiverr, I swear to God, that place.
Yeah, do you know what? Tim Henson was saying, Joe, on Playing God by Polyphia.
Yeah.
The whistle part on that was done, he found someone on Fiverr.
I just watched that the other day, and I forgot that I watched that. I seen him saying that. Yeah. Dude, Fiverr's fucking
so sick.
For the money. Damn.
Yeah, like imagine. I'd be a bit annoyed though. It's like, oh, I'm on a massive song, but I only got paid like 20 quid or so.
I suppose that's the thing with Fiverr, right? They if you're on Fiverr, you do know how it works. You know what I mean? Like that's
What was there anything sort of new you tried in the writing process or recording process? Try any like new sort of techniques or new sounds? Or
it was the first time that we ever fully released some songs that were all recorded from our bedrooms. That was the first thing.
All right.
So slow, some of Kill It and all of Hurt were all done, especially Slow and Hurt, all in our bedrooms.
Amazing. And
they were just produced by good people and mixed by talented people. Bruce Rinto and Tom Mitchener, sorry. They produced and mixed. It varies, but it's the first time we've done that, man. Do you know what I mean? Because usually we do demos like that, but we couldn't see anyone, and we still wanted to put out music. We didn't want to wait till we could get into a studio. Do you know what I mean? We were like, if we're not good enough to do that at home by now, we don't deserve to be in a band on a third album.
It's like,
do you know what I mean?
You guys have sort of honed your own sound because you've got.
Took us a while to find that, though. I think.
Yeah, I think because I was saying I think this new album is like where you sort of honed it all in. Like
totally.
Your riffs are like some of the sort of beefiest I've ever heard. Have you like done anything new in your guitar setup?
Honestly, nah.
I saw you were using a baritone. Was that?
Oh yeah, sorry, that's a fucking lie. Yes, I bought a baritone. I'm such a liar. Like I did genuinely get really into the new You Are Love album. I mean, who the fuck didn't during lockdown? And spoke to Connor, the ex-guitarist, a good amount. He's a lovely guy, and I just chatted to him about it a wee bit, and seen videos of him playing it, and I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm just gonna get one because you can get them quite cheap.
Yeah,
like really quite cheap.
They used that like the Squire one, didn't they? But they're like discontinued now, I think.
Yes, that one is, and they've done another Squire one, which I was going to get, but there's another one that's even cheaper because I wanted to get a cheap one because I was like, I might not like this. Let's just see if I like it. I fucking love it, by the way, and I really want to write most of the next album on it, but we'll get to that. But like that is on a couple of songs, only like 2 songs. I actually use it more live just because I can fit it into the set. And it just sounds ridiculous. For a cheap instrument, it sounds ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, it's like standard tuning's like B. Is it open B or something? Or
mine is in A.
Yeah. So it's like so heavy. Because that's the thing. It's like you have your pop sensibilities, you have all your dancey bits, but then it's like when the riffs come in, it's heavy.
Sure. That's always been the aim. Yeah. You know what I mean? Is try have that definition. I actually think we want to lean into that more in the future of the dynamics of that even more.
So the singles from Nula so far have all gone down really well. Did you pick those ones specifically to sort of give a reference point or an example of like the sounds that people are to expect from the album?
I would like to pretend there was a grand plan behind all that, but I feel
just like we like these ones.
Yeah, like, you know, Slow, when we released that, was the only song we had available. Kill It was the next song we wrote. Heart was the next song we wrote during lockdown. That's kind of how it worked until we got to Lasso.
Yeah, it was Lasso,
which came out.
Hades.
All those were pre-written, and we could kind of choose what we wanted. Actually, Quench, that just came out last week, wasn't actually going to be a single. It was supposed to be the second track on the album, but we had this grand plan for this big music video for it, and it might still happen, but it just didn't happen in time. I don't know if it's still going to happen, but so Quench was just like, oh fuck it, we'll just put out Quench if we want to pull the other song back. But the funny thing is, there's like 7 songs of the album out now because of lockdown, of us just winging it. Usually you only put out 3 singles, maybe 4 if you're lucky. Like, we put out 7 of 13 songs. It was ridiculous. But that's probably why Spotify's jumped up so much, is because we've released so many singles. Like,
and I guess when Slow came out, you didn't really know it was going to be on the album. So
we didn't. I don't even think our label did. I think they sort of didn't want us to put the first 3 songs from Lockdown on the album, and me and Janine were like, no, it's part of the narrative though. Like, it has to be, kind of thing. But yeah, it's fine.
What tracks are you most excited for people to hear from the album?
The one that was supposed to come out last week is called Tainted. It's the second song on the album. It's just cool. It's just, the riff is just like kind of quite Love inspired. It's not on the baritone. I just use like a whammy pedal for it, but it's just cool and heavy and very dynamic, very thrashy, and the riff's definitely the heaviest riff in the album as well. I also can't wait for people to hear the intro and mid-late, because we actually, Bruce and Janine in particular, then I helped a bit more with the mid-late. We come up with like full-on like orchestra, like, you know, pieces, if you know what I mean, like very filmic. Let's just call it that.
I was going to say, I listened to the album a couple of times today, and Tainted.
Oh, cool! I didn't know you'd heard it. That's cool.
I think Tainted is my favorite. Just when it comes after that intro, when it comes in with that riff, it's just like
the big yeah. It's class. That was supposed to come out last week, but for another time. I'm actually quite glad Quench came out now, because I do really like that song. Actually, it's grown on us a lot. It was I always remember it was my dad's favorite song. Like, you should put that out. That's a single. Put that out.
Shut up, Dad.
Yeah, shut up, Dad. You don't know nothing. My dad's actually fucking got a good ear for shit.
Turns out he does know some stuff.
He does. Exactly.
Right. Let's talk the UK tour coming up. How does it feel to be playing some of like those venues and selling them out already? Yeah,
crazy. It's mad, because me and Janine always talk about this. Like, when we, you know, right before lockdown, we brought out an album called Fall Better at the start of January 2020, and we played a tiny tour for that album. You know, we literally played 120, 150 cap venues. And I remember always just being like, oh man, when the hell are we going to be able to move up? Do you know what I mean? It was really hard. So it's mad to think that, like, in these 2 years, we finally managed to jump, you know, to 800 in London, you know, like, not easy, but like enough that hopefully by the end of next year we can really do much bigger shows, you know what I mean? Which is just fucking crazy, because I honestly didn't know if we'd ever get there, and it's weird. It's actually weird when you get to, like, as a Scottish band as well, like playing like 500 to 800 cap shows around England I'm still getting used to it a little bit, if you know what I mean.
Well, it's like Islington Academies. I feel like that's one of like the benchmarks that people like try to hit. It's like
totally.
when you're moving up the ladder, it's like when you've hit that, it's like, oh, next stop's going to be like
hopefully like electric bricks or something.
Ballroom,
sorry, yeah, totally. Well, it's funny because originally we were supposed to be doing the garage in London, but it sold out quite quickly, so we were like, oh fuck it, let's just try do Islington. And it took a while for it to happen, but once it happened, I was like, oh thank God, because that venue just looks it's like a rite of passage, right, almost, kind of thing in London. It feels like that to us anyway, but
it's got like the balcony. I've seen so many bands there, like sort of on the way up as well.
Same. I just like, I'm really chuffed, man. Like, super fucking chuffed. Terrifying. It's gonna be fucking scary, because I don't know, we have played some big shows, but it's just like different when it's your show. Yeah, exactly. The pressure's on, you know. So oh dude, I can't fucking wait. I have a feeling it's gonna be a good vibe, just chaos. I think the feeling will be good in the room. I just have a feeling, like, yeah.
Is there any other, well, apart from that one, is there any other shows you're looking forward to in particular?
I'm actually really looking forward to going to Europe as well. Kind of cool selling out the first headline show in the Netherlands as well, which is really cool. We're playing in Haarlem. I've never even been to Haarlem before, but I think it's like 40 minutes from Amsterdam or something like that. I mean, Manchester's always been amazing for us as well. There, and of course Glasgow to finish the tour, which is basically the Halloween show of the tour as well.
I was thinking about trying to come down to that for a little party.
Oh man, just let us know if you want to come. 100%, just holler.
Because it's on a weekend as well. It's perfect.
It is indeed. Yeah. Apart from man, I'm fucking excited for everything as well. Brighton is a mad place to play. Brighton was one of the most mental shows ever. The last time we headlined it, we did Patterns last year.
Yeah.
Sold out, and it was just fucking mental. It was just like, what is going on?
So, is there any songs you're going to play live from Nula that you're looking forward to? Any new?
I Exist.
Nice.
Just because the middle eight part is mental, so just hopefully that'll be chaos. I hope. It's like I don't know if you've heard it, but I Exist was a single before Quench, and we kind of knew the middle eight in that song would become a bit of a meme to at least our fan base anyway, and it did, and it's like it's just so over the top. Like the breakdown length and stuff is just stupid. We actually cut it out of the radio version completely. Like, yeah.
It sounds like I Exist has gone. That's probably one of the ones that's gone down the most well with fans. I've seen someone got like a tattoo, or someone asked Janine to like write "I Exist" or something, and they got it tattooed.
I think
it's connected a lot.
I think Lasso initially did really, really well, and then I Exist came out, and that did. I think it's probably because the lyrics in that song as well are just very like personal, you know, especially talking about suicide in a very serious manner as well. It's like very relatable to a lot of people, and I think that really hit. Honestly, and then it just goes into this mental breakdown, and I think it's a good release for people, perhaps. Yeah. I don't know. I feel that anyway. Like,
well, that's the thing. It's like I think when you see you live, it's like there's like a bit of everything. It's like dancey parts, emotional parts, and then like the fucking heavy parts where people can just go crazy.
This fucker in half. Yeah, totally. That's the one I'm most sort of like. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm very excited. I'm very excited. Slow's a favorite to play live as well. I love playing that. Yeah, I'm getting like butterflies talking about it a little bit. Which is cool.
Yeah, but I guess it's like it comes out. Well, the tour is just after the album as well, so it gives people a bit of time to sort of get to know the new songs as well.
100%, especially Quench, because we're going to play Quench on the tour, so it's like that gives a bit of time for people to get to know that, which is great. We literally leave for tour next Tuesday or Wednesday. It's crazy.
Not to make you feel old, but you've been making
music 14 years.
You're actually born in 1849.
Yeah.
You've been making music for over a decade now.
Yeah.
What do you think like some of the struggles have been to get to this point?
Yeah, it's been hard. Like, absolutely. Like, you could say there's been a lot of sacrifices, but it's like those were our choices. So, and I wouldn't change that for shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was saying this to the guy in the last interview. I think that this gives us such a sense of purpose. Which as a fucking human being is very important, you know what I mean? So it's like that alone is worth it, you know. But it was hard, you know, especially the start, especially this first 4 or 5 years when we were much younger, very inexperienced, you know, continually got compared to other bands, which always happens. That's completely fair enough. You've not quite found our sound yet. We probably weren't that good live. That was hard, especially coming out of Ayrshire in Scotland, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's not a lot up here, man, you know, apart from Glasgow. There's not a lot of places to play. It took us a while. It took us to the debut album to really go other places, you know, in 2017. So it took us like 6 years to get anywhere.
I remember that. I remember when I was at Skurs, because we always get sent new bands all the time. And it's like, it's only certain bands that like stick out to you that you remember. And I remember when we got sent, I think it was Boy George in like 2016 or something.
Yeah.
And I was just something like that. Yeah, it's just like I remember hearing that. I was like, this band has got something.
That's cool.
Something different.
That's
cool. They're not just like a cookie cutter band. They're trying to do their own thing.
It's funny though, because like when we started, we did get a lot of that. Just like people thought they didn't believe in us. They thought some people thought we were manufactured, which is mental. That doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's a weird compliment. I'm not sure, but. Yeah, there was a lot of that. It took us a while to really find what we were good at, and I think the way we are now is the best with the setup we have and stuff, and the energy. But that comes with time and confidence. We were very unconfident 5 to 6 years ago, even 3 years ago, like super unconfident, but we have a bit more faith now.
Well, it's just nice to see that, like, because I've always thought you should be bigger than you are, but it's not. Yeah. I think now it's sort of coming to fruition. It's like,
sure,
you've definitely found your sound and you're going in the right direction, I think.
Yeah, we just need to keep at it, you know. Yeah, thanks, man.
So finally, is there sort of any message that you, or like feeling you want people to come away with when they see you live or listen to the album?
I hope it's an album that sticks with people. I know a lot of bands and albums that have been influential on me and have really influenced me and stuck with me, and I know what that makes me feel. So I just hope this album can have that attachment to other people as well. That would be the main thing for sure, because I know how that makes me feel. So to have the ability to perhaps make a small percentage of people feel like that is the coolest thing on the fucking planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like the thing is, like, we probably grew up like idolizing certain bands and albums. Yeah. It's like there's a whole generation of kids now that are like looking for those bands to like we did.
And you remember how it felt? You probably remember how it felt when you first discovered those bands and that music, and especially when you're super young as well. It's like very influential on you. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, I was talking about this the other day. It's like, I don't know if I had heard some of the albums I did now, if they would mean as much to me as they did.
Absolutely.
Just because I was like, I think in those like early years, you're just looking to find an identity, and like a lot of times you like rock music or this sort of music is like, when you hear it, you're like, oh, this is my thing. This is who I am now. And then it's like, it becomes 100%. Such a big part of your life. And it's cool. Like, you can be part of that for someone else.
That is exactly it. That's the coolest thing. That's the most important thing for sure. About music in general, you know. The influence it has is actually crazy when you think about it. But yeah, hopefully it ends up meaning something for people in another, still in a year's time, and they can reminisce of it when they first discovered it, or I don't know, like, yeah. That's the dream.
That is the dream. Well, thank you for joining me on my impromptu podcast, sponsored by Manscaped.
This has felt like a podcast, which I thoroughly enjoyed, by the way.
It wasn't planned, but yeah, it's nice to talk to you. I hope everything goes well. The tour, I'm sure every date you'll smash it. Hopefully, I'll see you in Glasgow. All jet lagged from Vegas, but.
Holla if you want to come and fucking enjoy the most insane lineup of all time. Jesus Christ.
I'll send you some videos. Cool.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out.
Cheers, Hamish.
Thanks, Ollie.
See you soon.
Take care, brother. Bye.